Hello there, my amazing Leos. Welcome into a weekly reading for you. I hope you're doing absolutely amazing out there. But as always, I feel the need to mention, keep in mind it is a general reading. These are general messages, so just take what resonates and leave the rest behind. But I do feel as if you're stepping into what is being labeled as a very lucky week for you. And you're having this, giving off this very sunny demeanor while feeling pretty damn motivated throughout the week and getting a lot done. And it feels like it's a time for you to think about what you're destined for, feeling like it's way more than what you have at hand. Does that make sense? Whether it's more in regards to work matters when it comes to maybe where you're living, it could be in regards to who you're associating yourself with, or what you're committed to otherwise. But it's this feeling of spirit saying, Leo, that you have so much more ahead for you than you can even begin to realize, envision, and you're not meant to know it all. While I feel it also is a week where you're craving answers, you're craving more understanding, that clarity, all right? But sorry if the wind is altering the audio a bit. But I also feel like you deal with certain levels of chaos and conflict, whether again it's at work, at home, with who you have in your life, what you're committed to otherwise. And it seems to be a week where it's like it's slowly churning in the reversal and giving you this more peaceful state of being, peaceful state of living. And so I feel like as well, you're going to be finding that spirit wants you to focus on soulmates, all right? Or at least one in particular. And this doesn't have to obviously be romantic or anything close to that. It could be a platonic soulmate. They do exist. But I do feel as if either way, spirit's saying you deserve the soul connecting between you and somebody who understands you better than maybe you understand yourself, or at the very least, better than certain people that you have in your life otherwise or once did. All right, let's move on to the tarot portion of your reading. Why do I feel so happy? I also feel like, Leo, there is a bit of a, especially at the beginning stages of the week, all right, the beginning and the end, you're going to be feeling a bit drained. And so they're asking you what works best for you, knowing yourself and your path best, obviously, in order to feel a bit more maybe lively, less drained, to have more energy, okay? And this is gonna really benefit you greatly, because it feels like even if you're feeling burnt out, you're still gonna, for the most part, wanna put in the effort and get things accomplished. But I also am now getting that some Leos within this collective are going to be putting in certain levels of effort when it comes to cleaning up their life, and you're going to find that that feels even invigorating in of itself, and you feel more clear naturally. You feel a sense of ease growing or coming back to be while you're cleaning up your life and even after the fact. But to continue for Leo, the Two of Pentacles, the Page of Cups coming out, the Eight of Swords, the Five of Cups, the Death card, and the Hierophant. So Spirit is saying that with the Five of Cups and the Death card, you're not expecting the best 24/7, all right? This could be in regards to one situation, if not multiple, but you're needing to remember that you are the magician of your own reality, and you will manifest, let's just say negativity, or even potentially the worst if you keep that up. So check yourself, right? Hop back into a state of positivity and expecting the best, and don't let people's actions in small, rare moments where it could be labeled as negative or maybe toxic or rude to get the best of you. Definitely reminds me of last night at my serving job. Back-to-back tables were swearing at me. Not my fault, because I couldn't sell them certain things. But anyways, I feel like also there's something about this period reminding you that your life is shifting and changing in a very continuous way or ways. And you're needing to, more than ever, allow for the positivity and the optimism to take over, and because it feels like it's kind of coming and going, you know what I mean? To be completely real with you. And so allow for that sunny demeanor to be nicely intertwined with your, again, positivity and optimism. Because Spirit is saying as well, Leo, remember, you set the tone. okay? You set the tone whether you remember this, want to admit this, be one with it or not. Now, I feel like at certain points you will need to catch your breath. While they're wanting you to get out and about more, go enjoy your life in the midst of what feels to be far and few in between free moments. But it feels like for a lot of which, and I can relate, you do have a sense of freedom where you once didn't, right? And that could be in multiple forms. And so you're needing to remember this, all right? And even utilize it more to your advantage. Now, the Two of Pentacles says that you are going through what is to be labeled as a balancing act. And I feel like with that infinity symbol, you're needing to remember the possibilities are endless. While the sunflowers are giving me very delicate, very fresh, spring-like vibes, in the midst of a week where you're needing to open up more to the world and show us the real you, all right? Open up to certain people selectively and bond with them, right? Share something special about yourself, and don't be surprised when in return you receive some quality news or information, a better understanding maybe in regards to them or something else of significance. But I also want to say it's a week of important growth and progression. Now, the Eight of Swords is realistically saying, where are you restricting yourself? Are you over-consuming, overdoing it otherwise? Are you not partaking in certain important, healthy activities and routines that you know will really help you in so many ways? Because it feels like Spirit is saying, as we're getting ready to wrap up May, because it is for, I think it was the 19th to the 25th. Anyways, as we're getting ready to wrap up this month of May, you're needing to set the tone for June, right? Start getting in the habit of, or the routine of doing what feels good for you, what feels healthy, what feels in alignment and right for you at this point along your path. Because I feel like in June, it's reminding me of another reader's, I think it was a Leo reading, where she was mentioning that in June, you're really now consistently putting in effort towards this and that you maybe have kind of been spotty with, if that makes sense, where you'd put in effort, but you wouldn't keep up with it. You'd get back to it, but you wouldn't keep up with it. Whether it's working out or whatever it ends up being, it could be a hobby. But I'm hearing it is a time for you to prioritize at certain points, taking care of your Leo self. You're most important, you know? But as well, I feel there's a real utilization of music throughout the week, and it feels really important because this is going to come through in certain ways, whether it's a message, if not multiple, from Spirit, a feeling, a change of your tune or the energy in that situation for the better. It even feels like culture is playing into this for some. But I'm also now hearing what you like and what you don't like, or what works for you and what doesn't, what makes you feel at ease, what doesn't, what makes you feel happy, what doesn't. These kind of things are really feeling very much pointed out, and it's hard to even, I want to say, ignore them or not notice them throughout the week. I see there being at least some significance when it comes to that. But look at this. The rainbow is saying that you need to prepare for all of the abundance that you deserve to rain on in. Again, it's going to be a very lucky week, and we can't ignore that simple but complex fact and feeling as you see evidence in regards to that. But it feels like Spirit saying that the abundance in different forms, the prosperity in different forms that you receive, that you create, that you even find are coming into play, popping up due to past efforts, it's just a taste of what lies ahead. Because again, I feel like you're fated for a hell of a lot more, and this week really highlights that for you and other people. But I'm now getting from this shell here, you can see he's making music. That's where I was getting the music message before. But it's a week where you're singing your own tune. You're maybe adjusting the tune that you've been putting out there, singing, expressing, previous to this week. It's because you've been changing, Leo. And I even feel like maybe a change or two in your physical reality, regardless of what it was or is for you, that's leaving you singing your tune, expressing yourself, and maybe even choosing to live very differently. And so then when you find that certain, or one in particular, let me try that again. When you find throughout the week, Leo, that one habit or two, or something not so healthy for you, or you just know it's not something you should be taking forward with you. It could be associating with somebody or whatever it ends up being. When you find that that's something you are choosing or contemplating on bringing forward with you, you need to ask yourself, how is that going to weigh me down? How is that going to restrict me? And so they're saying, allow for this week to brighten up your life and make things more successful, more peaceful, more abundant. All right. So Leo, this is going to be, again, a very luck-filled week for you, where you're sunny, you're more invigorated, you're more motivated. It's not a perfect week, but it is a very life-changing, very reflection-filled and transformative time for you. All right. So those are your weekly messages. I hope they were truly helpful. Love and light, Leo.